Hey, you guys, and after the wide success of the first Once Upon a Time recap, review, whatever it is you want to call it, I am back by demand with another recap of Once Upon a Time. Now, I told you guys in the first one, I did not know when I would be uploading them. I just told you that I would be uploading them before the next episode. So I'm keeping my word, and you're getting this before the next episode. I don't care if I'm cutting it close. You're getting it before the next episode. So let's get right into this review, recap, whatever it is. So the episode, like all episodes, gives you a recap of what happened in the previous episode. So if you remember, the very last thing that happened in that 2-hour special was, she had did this and the mirror shattered and the spell has now been enacted. So now Dairy Queen is in the forest and she's just looking like, my spell, it is so beautiful. And she is just so proud of herself. Pause. I mean, she makes Regina's evil queen seem like child's play. Anyway, she's in the forest, eerily with this creepy grin of pleasure. I just don't understand Dairy Queen. But she is just really excited about the fact that, she enacted this weird curse. And Rumpelstiltskin appears. And, she's just kind of like, what are you doing here? I know you ain't here to say hi, how you doing? Want to go have a cup of coffee? So he's like, it looks like you've won. And she's all like, how humble of you. But she's hip that something's about to happen, right? All right, so then Rumpelstiltskin kind of starts dialoguing. He's like, so your spell is about to happen in a few hours? And she's like, oh no, it's about to happen at sunset. And then she's all like,
they will tear themselves apart until everyone is dead.
and I was like,
So vicious.
but then Rumpel was like,
Everyone.
so now this statement intrigues me, as you can tell on my face. Rumpelstiltskin, do elaborate, please.
You'll have what you want. You alone with your sisters, Elsa and Emma, doing who knows what. And I'll be here too, spending every waking moment of my immortal life trying to rip your heart out.
Oh.
And Dairy Queen was just like...
It seems you do have something to offer.
So Dairy Queen is all like, well, what do you want? And he's all like, I want to leave. And she's all like, you already made that deal. He's like, I know, but I want to make the deal a little bit sweeter. See, when you and your deranged curse starts killing everybody or having everybody kill everybody else, that includes killing my wife and my grandson. So I want my wife, Belle, and my grandson, Henry, to come with me. Rumpelstiltskin is asking for pardon for Belle and Henry. And my initial reaction was just like,
Aww. Saving Henry.
I'm not gonna lie. Based upon how that was going, I thought I was really gonna enjoy this episode. For real. Because, I was like, he wants to get pardoned for Henry? Where did that come from? I mean, last season, in the very beginning, half of the season, when it was Finding Neverland, Save Henry, blah blah, it was real touch and go with Rumpelstiltskin. We didn't know if he was gonna save Henry or if he was gonna try to kill Henry. I was like, what? Y'all probably didn't understand what I just said. Let me say that again. I was like, we didn't know if he was gonna try to save Henry or if he was gonna try to kill Henry. And then you don't see Henry and Mr. Gold or Rumpelstiltskin, whatever you want to call him, Rumpel, if you're Belle, you don't see them, interact with each other. So, I mean, it really threw me for a loop that he wanted pardon on Henry. But I did like the fact that he wanted pardon on Henry. So, obviously, the Dairy Queen agreed because honestly, what is little simpleton Belle gonna do to her life? Nothing. And what is Henry gonna do? Nothing. The only gift Henry has is being the heart of the truest believer. But having Rumpelstiltskin stalk you for all of eternity because you are an immortal creature that cannot die, essentially, yeah, no. Just let him have his grandson and his stupid wife. I really just can't stand Belle. She is so irrelevant and so annoying. NT ways. Now we're going to move on to when we get to see the other main cast members. See Elsa, Emma, Snow, Regina, and Charming, and they're in the clock tower with binoculars because they couldn't see this curse. This is what blows my mind. How could you not see this curse without the binoculars? Like, it was right there in your face. It's a big cloudy poof of like glass infested purple smoke. You don't need binoculars to see that, babootski. Like, for reals. Ugh. Anyway, so Elsa's sitting there and she's like, oh my god, my aunt's really doing it. Like, are you for real? You knew there was something wrong with your aunt from day one. So I don't understand. Irrelevant. Anyway, so now they're sitting there trying to figure things out. And the ever so optimistic Charmings are all, giving all these ideas about what they could do. And here goes David Nolan, aka Charming, sitting there talking about, well, maybe we can all just go in a tunnel. And Regina was all like,
Magic doesn't care about ceilings.
thank you. How many curses have y'all been through in 3 seasons and 10 episodes of a 4th season? I mean, seriously, how many times have y'all been through a curse coming over everybody? And I don't understand. They've been through how many curses? You know what, David? If that could actually work, then you wouldn't be in this predicament because y'all would still be in the Enchanted Forest. And the Evil Queen would still be evil, still trying to kill you and Snow White. And now she'd be trying to kill little Emma. That just really ticked me off. I don't know why. That was just so stupid. Anyway, so they're all like, oh my gosh, Regina's right. So now what are we going to do? So then Emma decides that she has the answer to everything. Emma's all like, and I was like,
Okay. If the answer is so simple.
why didn't y'all do that from the jump? If the answer is so simple, why didn't y'all do that from the jump? Honestly, I'm not liking season 4 of Once Upon a Time. Like, absolutely not. Granted, this is by far the worst episode to date of this season, but this whole season is just really ticking me off. Like, the only reason why I keep watching this season is because of Lana Parrilla and because of, frickin' Outlaw Queen. That's the only reason why I watch this season. And that don't make no damn sense. If you could just not be in town, then why didn't y'all do that from the jump? Because you can't get around the frickin' ice wall. Don't be so stupid. I swear, this just the first 5 minutes. Stupid suggestions. Okay? Stupid statements. Captain Obvious is everywhere. I can't. I throw my hands up. I can't. So all of them, including Grumpy, go off, and they decide, all right, we are just going to knock this wall down because it's so simple that they did not think to do this in the very first episode of the season. So David Nolan goes with an ice pick because let's not forget he is friends with Kristoff, and of course he would have an ice pick. So he goes with an ice pick and attempts to bust through all this ice. Why they don't have Regina do it with her fireballs, why they don't have Emma do it with her firework now having powers, why they don't have Elsa do it with her ice blasting powers is beyond me. We're just going to go ahead and let Charming feel useful amongst a cachet of empowered women, which I do have to say I love about Once Upon a Time. All these women are truly, powerful. Okay, so we're just going to let Charming go at it with the itty-bitty ice pick. And Shaka. Nothing happens. Correction. Something happens. He hits it once. More ice balls appear. Now, I didn't expect for the ice to come tumbling down, but I also didn't expect for more ice to show up either. That did throw me off course. So, of course, Regina's there with her little snide comments, and she's like, so, I guess the ice didn't really like that. And now everybody's like, okay, that didn't work. What are we going to do now? So while everybody's looking at this wall, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that didn't work. Which, if you honestly thought that was going to work, y'all are all morons, point blank period. There becomes a crack in the snow, ice wally doom of death thingy. And then, like, down the slit, like, the camera is angled as if it was in the crack looking up. You see this shape, so we all knew that it was the shape of Anna's necklace that Elsa had given him. So Elsa also notices this thing in the crack, and she pulls it out, and she's like, oh my god, it's Anna's necklace. But everyone's like, don't touch that, it could do all these crazy things. And she's like, relax, it's just Anna's necklace. And they're like, she's like, do you know what that means? Anna's alive. So now she's back on her I gotta find my sister kick, and they're just like, forget your sister, we need to find a way to all live. And Elsa's all like, it's a sign that we're gonna win, Emma. And Regina's all like,
Is everyone into this hope thing now?
oh, Regina. I'll slime. So at this point, everyone's pretty much given up hope, and they're all like, you know what, we need to warn everybody about this curse coming, which I don't understand. What is there to warn? If they don't see the smoke, I think the people of Storybrooke are kind of slow. Anyway, they're all like, we need to go warn everybody, and Emma tells Killian to go over to, like, the docks, because of course where else would you send a pirate to the docks? And Regina is just all like,
I have to warn Robin Hood. His camp's not far from me.
and I was like, yeah, you do. Go on your man, girl. Oh my god, I can't even with Outlaw Queen. Anyway, so Emma's like, okay, yeah, you go warn Robin Hood. And then she's like, Henry will stay with me. And Regina's like, no, he won't. Henry will stay with me. And Emma's like, if I'm immune to it, then Henry should stay with me. So now everybody's like, hold up, pause. Why do you think you're immune to this? And Emma and Elsa are like, well, she gave us these little fairy flu things on our wrists, so obviously it means something, which means that we're most likely immune to it. So Henry should stay with me. And Regina's all like, yeah, no. I have the most experience with my powers, and he'll be way safer with me. And so they're going back and forth, and Henry's just like, Mom, saying this to Emma, don't worry, I'll be safe with her being Regina. And she's like, all right. And then she gives him a hug, and they go off to the woods to go find Robin. I'm sorry. Bring it back, Gigi. Bring it back. Now y'all know this would not be a review or a recap or whatever if I did not have a question.
So then wouldn't everybody want to kill the evil queen first?
Now, I respect that Henry is legally Regina's son. And I respect that Regina is the evil queen, and she got her little magical balls of fire. But let's be real, Regina. You know you gotta be the first one everybody looking to kill. I say that out of love. I do. So, it really doesn't seem logical for Henry to be with you. I'm sorry. I say that out of love, Gina. I say that out of love. So, So, Regina and Emma go off to go find Robin Hood in the woods somewhere. And Elsa and Emma go to not Rumpelstiltskin, but they go to Belle. can anyone please tell me when Belle became the official, like, person to go to when ish hits the fan? Because she reads a couple of books. Like, I mean, I get it. You're trying to push the importance of, like, reading and the knowledge you can acquire. But let's be real. Anyway, so Belle's melodramatic behind is all like, well, there is a way to stop the curse. Like, she was just so melodramatic and so overacting in that scene, but whatevs. And so she's all like, apparently, once someone, basically, once someone has been hit by a curse, they're immune to that curse, and their hair can create a vaccination. This show gets so ridiculous. Now people are immune to curses? Really? Really? They are immune to curses now. Okay, so please explain to me, if people are immune to curses, how come no one understood that and no one got that when frickin' the Wicked Witch did the same curse that Regina did? Why did that work? Why did no one figure out that they were all... Hold it, pause. Let's go back. If that theory was even true, the Wicked Witch could not have created that same spell that Regina did, because they should have all been immune to it. This show gets so much more ridiculous. Anyway, so finding out that Anna is the antidote to curing everybody and immuning them. I can't get over that. It's too funny. Anyway, so finding out that she's going to be the vaccine to cure everybody and to save all of Storybrooks, all the Storybrookians, whatever you want to call them. This adds more fuel to the fire for her to, get Anna back. And Belle's all like, yeah, you find Anna, you grab her hair, the fairies over there, they can, like, set everything up. Not a problem. She said it like it was like going outside and skipping stones. So Elsa's all like, oh, well, we can do a locating spell and we can find Anna. So they do the locating spell. They put it on the necklace because the necklace belongs to Anna. And the necklace starts glowing, right? And she's like, is it supposed to do that? And Emma's all like, yeah, I know this real well. Yeah, it glows. The closer you get to whatever you are trying to find, it glows even more. Pause, back up, question. Because y'all know I got a question.
Why isn't it floating? Everything else floats.
But for real though, like, they put the potion on Emma's scarf last episode. That floated. Ariel put that potion on Eric's cloak. That floated. Why is it that Anna's necklace isn't floating? Everything always floats with that locator potion. That makes no sense. Anyway. Back on Arendelle. Anna and Kristoff become unfrozen. And they're all like, where's the urn? Where's Elsa? Where's my crazy psychotic aunt? And Kristoff is all like, I don't know. I'm chilly. You had the urn last. So Anna steps on, as she's walking towards the table, she steps on something. And she's like, a straw. It's Rumpelstiltskin's straw. Rumpelstiltskin has freaking Elsa. Because, Anna is just straight up Horatio Kane. Rumpelstiltskin has him. And, has her. And, we've got to go get her. And she's like, she must have used that spell and da-da-da-da. And pretty much she's going over what could have possibly happened with Kristoff. And as they're about to leave, who walks in? Because if they're unfrozen, who else is unfrozen? Hans. This creeper, I really can't stand him. So he's all like, first of all, he makes me so sick. He's like, well, you just incriminated yourself. You just admitted that you killed your sister and she's the queen. And wouldn't you guys consider that to be treason? Sounds like treason to me. So now I'm going to be the head of Arendelle. It's like, who are you? There has to be rules and regulations and prerequisites to become the head of Arendelle. You can't just come in from, like, the Northern Isles or wherever Hans is from. And, like, just make yourself the head of somebody else's town. Like, that makes no sense. And duh, we all saw the movie. We all know what you did. So nobody in Arendelle is going to trust you. Just throwing that little fact out there. So he's all, like, telling his men who were frozen too, oh, go get them. And Heinz is like, nope, you know what? Hans. Christoph is all like, nope, you know what? You got it. And Anna's looking at him like, what? And so they act like they're going to give up, and then they kind of, like, dupe them. And, you know, they kind of, like, do some kind of Kung Fu Panda crap. As you can tell, this scene was just not really entertaining or relevant to my life. Anyway, they escape. That is the whole point of that. So then the scene then cuts to Rumpelstiltskin and Hook at the pier. So Hook is, again, with these binoculars. I don't understand why you need binoculars to see what is so vivid in your face. Helen Keller could see this. Hook is at binoculars watching the frozen icy wall of death build up over the ocean, which I don't even understand how the Dairy Queen is doing this. But she is pretty amazeballs. So he's doing that, and Rumpelstiltskin appears, and Rumpel's all like, come, have a seat. Don't forget where your heart lies. And he's like, heh, heh, heh. So he sits down, and they're sitting there chitty-chatting and whatnot. And he brings out that bejeweled box thingy that contains the magical hat, which, side note, made for TV. If y'all want to make Guapi Tone, y'all need to make a magical glowing little hat thing like that, and a box, and make a knife, and you just, and you know, the hat come out. You would make so much money, and I know this because I personally would purchase one. I ain't lying. I'll purchase it. Go to Bed Bath & Beyond, Walgreens, Target, somewhere made for TV section, I purchase it. Anyway, so Hook's all like, he pops that out and he's like, you remember this? And Hook's like, you're not going to have me go after Emma. He's like, relax, ain't nobody worried about Emma Swan. That's not why I have this. He's all like, I need other power. I know power that can not necessarily equate to her power, but, you know, like, he knows some other serious power that he needs. He was talking about fairies. And he's all like, I need you to get the fairies. But my wife, Belle, which I don't know why he always has to say that. We already know that Belle's your wife, and we already know your wife is Belle. That's just as annoying with Akon, where every time he sings, he's like, Akon and Whitney, Akon and Slim Shady. Like, we know you, Akon. Like, people being Captain Obvious. Anyway, so he's all like, my wife Belle, which I don't even know why you're so proud to say that. She's with them, so I'm going to need you to be on standby while I try to get her away. And he's all like, but the fairies are creating the antidote to, like, cure the situation. He's like, you don't want them to create a cure. And Rumpelstiltskin's all like, bingo, you won. And he's all like, so you're just going to let this kill everybody, including your grandson? And Rumpelstiltskin's like, whoa, pause, bring it back. I ain't saying nothing about killing Henry. I'm taking Henry and my wife, and the rest of y'all can die. And he's like, seriously? You're going to kill everybody else? Like, seriously? And Rumpelstiltskin's like, I don't have time to think about everybody else. But when it comes to everybody else and me wins. Every single solitary time. He's like, so, are you going to do this job? And he's like, you have my heart. You know I have no other choice. He's like, wonderful. Let's get down to it. But I was just like,
I mean, he might, if they're all condemned, he might as well just die on his own.
so now we see Regina in the woods with Henry and frickin' Robin Hood and everyone, and she's trying to save them. And she's like, the curse is coming and you have to, like, go. And she's trying to save them, you know? Like, she cares about them. She loves them. So he meaning Robin Hood, calls for Will. And Will comes and he's all like, yo, what you screaming for? Like, I'm right here. Like, and he's like, we need to go. Like, you need to get everybody situated. Because Eugene's like, y'all are pretty much living in, like, a freaking cave of weapons. Y'all all gotta go. Because y'all just kill each other. So he's all like, fine. So he starts to separate everybody, and he's like, take Roland. And so Henry goes with Roland, and he allows them to have like their little quiet time. And so Robin Hood's all like, well, what's gonna happen to you? And Regina's all like, listen, I pissed off a lot of people, and they already hate me like without this curse, so I gotta go. And Robin's being all chivalrous. He's like, I'll protect you. And she's all like, you can't protect me because you don't understand. You've never been under a curse. Which really blows my mind because, like, he was in the Enchanted Forest, was he not? So shouldn't he have been under the first curse? I don't know. A lot of things just don't add up when they do these backstories and try to come into new stories with Once Upon a Time. It is what it is. So she's like, no, you don't understand. Just make sure that you and your family and your crew is safe, and I'll worry about Henry and I. So then the scene cuts to Emma and Elsa, and they're still following this glowing necklace in her hand. So I understand why it's not floating, but whatever. So they go and they're following it, and it leads to the library, and Elsa's all like, I don't understand why we're going to the library. We checked here already. And Emma's all like, it's kind of magical. Like, Regina hit a dragon down here. And she's like, oh. Well, if I couldn't find her down there before, maybe it's because my aunt had her frozen. Maybe now she's unfrozen. I really don't know how they got to that conclusion. I kind of like spaced out at that point, but alrighty. So Emma and them head downstairs, and they go through one of the tunnels to find her. So they get to the tunnel, and it's glowing like crazy, and it's just not happening. Like, there's a wall there. And so Elsa's all like, what? I don't understand. She's got to be on the other side of the wall. So she shouts to her. How's she going to hear her through a whole bunch of rocks in the tunnel? I don't understand. But that ain't stopped the girl from shouting. So she shouts at her, and she's like, Anna, are you there? And she's like, I'm going to blast it. And I was like, no, honey child. Last time you blast something, we was all up in the cave. I was cold. I almost died. We will not be doing that again. So back in Arendelle, frickin' Kristoff and them have finally, like, kind of lost Hans or whatever, and now they have to deal with either choosing between calling Rumpelstiltskin and dealing with him, or going to Blackbeard. And the reason how Blackbeard came up was because apparently she saw it in her mom's journal or something. I don't even want to talk about Frozen anymore because it's really starting to take me off. So you know what? Here's basically what happened. So she was reading her mom's journal, found out about Blackbeard, something about a wishing star, and now they're going to go to Blackbeard, try to buy the wishing star from him, so that way everything can be fixed. Point blank, period. So they go to Blackbeard, and they're sitting there trying to, like, make a deal with him, but then all of a sudden, guess who pops up? Hotmess.com, Hans. And come to find out, it's a trap. And they're all confused, and they're like, again, really, why do you keep popping up? And that was the end of that scene. Thank goodness. Now the scene cuts to frickin' Regina, Grumpy, Snow, and Charming, and they're all at the mayor's office, and they're trying to figure out, a plan of action, some kind of like escape route, and Charming's phone rings, and he walks away. And so they're looking through all the maps and tunnels and everything, and Regina's like,
look at this mess. A good mayor checks that these things are kept up to code.
but then Snow is like,
Well, if the mayor only has to worry about one villain, and it's herself, that frees up a lot of time for infrastructure and other issues.
and I was like,
Leave her how long for the passage?
Couple hours, maybe. We can get right on it.
on his
We
face.
have a couple hours. Have you guys not been watching?
So Charming comes back from his phone call, and apparently Belle told him that another way to save the town is if they destroy the necklace. And now the question is, do we save the town or save the sister? Thank you, Grumpy, because obviously that's something Grumpy would say. So now everybody's left, be wild, bewitched, and bewildered. So scene then cuts to Granny's kitchen or whatever. Can anyone please explain to me, where is Granny? Everybody keeps going up in there ordering stuff, but we don't see Granny or Red. Like, who's running that? Anywho. So we go there, and at first you see Rumple and Hook talking, and he's all like, alright, I'm gonna go distract Belle, and you stay out here in the wing. And when he goes to distract Belle, who do we see?
Mother Superior's
What do
back.
you want?
It's like, where have you been, Mother Superior? Like, you got killed off, you were brought back to life, and then we never saw you again. For those of y'all who don't know, Mother Superior is the blue fairy. No, wearing a blue dress and the hook of silver heels. That's Mother Superior. Anyway, Stormful comes in and Mother Superior's like, what do you want? Like, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm here to see my wife. And she's like, well, we're busy. And Belle's like, yeah, like, we're busy. Like, and he's like, well, I need you. And he's making up some BS excuse to try to get her. And she's all like, can you just be patient? Like, this is really, really important. So he's like, okay, fine. I'll stay here and maybe I can help. And freaking the blue fairy is all like, this is light magic dark one. And he's all like, well, maybe I'll learn something. And she looks a little skeptical, but she's like, all right, you know what? Fine, whatever. And she walks away, but she knows something not right. So the scene comes back to the mayor's office, and Regina's like, are y'all for real? Like, are we really honestly trying to figure out if we're going to say one person versus the whole entire town? And Emma's all like, there's got to be a way that we can save everyone. And so it's like, you're sounding like a superhero. And Regina's all like, negative. You're right. That's some superhero BS. But you're not just a superhero. You're a leader. So you need to make a decision. Somebody got to win. Somebody got to lose. You need to make the decision right now. And so it's like, oh my God, you know what? Regina's right. We've got to give the town their best chance. And I'm just like,
I'm so sick of the Charmings and their best chance.
so Emma's all like, yeah, you're right. And she leaves and she goes over and she goes to talk to Elsa. So she's gone for like literally 3 seconds and she comes back and she's like, got it, let's go. But something didn't look right. When Emma turned around, she looked mad guilty. So they head out the door and then it shoots over to Elsa. You see her with the freaking necklace in her hand heading downstairs to the tunnel because y'all know what she about to do. So they go running over to Granny's diner and they're like, we got it, we got it, we got it. And they give it to her. And then she opens it and she's like, what is this? This is Pebbles from the mines. And they're all like, what? And Regina's like, she tricked me. I should have known not to believe a blonde. Total to get Emma, y'all. Total to get Emma. And so Regina's all like,
Time for hope speech? Virtues of blind faith?
and Snow was all like,
Well, it seems Elsa's blind faith is exactly what's screwing us right now.
and then Regina was like,
Ooh.
Coming from you, that's just terrifying.
Selma's all like, I'm not giving up hope. I'm gonna go get Elsa. And Belle's all like, yeah, it's kind of too late for that. And they're like, what? They're like, yeah, by the time you come back with them and that necklace, it's gonna be too late. Unless we have Anna right here and her hair follicle, we doomed. So Emma's like, well, I'm not giving up. And she runs off, right? So she runs back to the tunnel. And just as she's about to get there, Elsa's right there and she's getting ready to use her icy frosty powers and she's like, I'm sorry, Emma, I gotta do it. And kablam! She blasts a freezy hole through the ice rocket and through the ice piece of rock. Yes, I am speaking way too fast. So yes, she blasts a hole through the rock and my first reaction was,
Please do not tell me they found a portal to Arendelle.
not to Arendelle, but it definitely led to the beach. So now Emma's confused, I'm confused, and so is Elsa. Emma's all like, that wasn't part of the map. So Elsa's like, wait, so do you mean that this is wrong? Do you think it's a lie? And Emma's all like, yo, chick, I don't understand. I pretty much just got my powers not too long ago, but I am telling you this. Magic is fickle, and it has been 30 years. What's the likelihood of your sister still being alive? And Elsa's all like, no, this can't be. I have to believe. I have to believe because we have to have something to believe in. And so while she's giving her speech about having to have something to believe in, the light on the necklace goes out. And it was just like, brah, we all know what that means. So right before, so freaking Anna holds the neck. So Emma's all like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry, but we gotta get that necklace over there. She's trying to be compassionate, but she's like, bro, we gotta get that necklace over there. So Elsa's like, I'm not giving up hope. I can't give up hope. So she holds the necklace up to her chest and she's all crying and she's like, Anna, I will never give up on you. And my only wish is that you were here with me right now. So back on the ranch, while all this stuff is going on in the tunnel and at the beach, Anna and Kristoff are trying to figure out, like, dude, like, Hans, how did you get here? And Blackbeard, why are you leveling with them? We could pay you more. And Hans is like, actually not really, because my brothers and I took over your money. And Anna's just like, what? I don't, none of us understand, Anna. We don't. So we're just gonna let that go. In the wise words of your sister, we're just gonna let it go. Side note, thumbs up if you're happy that no one has sung that song in Once Upon a Time. Just throwing that out there. So she's all like, yeah, I want to buy, the necklace off of you. And Blackbeard's all like, oh yeah, I sold it to your mom. And they're like, that doesn't make any sense. If she had it, how come Anna didn't get turned back? And Blackbeard's all like, oh, because you have to be pure of heart in order to use it. And that tells us what Anna's mom was. But then again, we all saw that episode and we already know how her mom is. So there goes the shocker. Obviously, Anna and Kristoff are about to die, and they put them in a trunk, and they're about to throw the trunk into the water. And right before they die, Anna's all like, Elsa's gonna come back and, like, take over the kingdom. And he's like, it's been 30 years. If she hasn't found her way back by now, she'll never find her way back. And it's at this point that Anna and Kristoff realize, it's been 30 years? Why have we been frozen so long, and why all of a sudden we are unfrozen? And that's when they realize that her aunt is going to do something really, really bad. And she's trying to tell them that they've got to get to Elsa. And they slam the trunk closed and throw them into the bottom of the ocean. And that's the end of Anna and Kristoff. So back at Granny's, it's pretty clear that, like, nothing good is going to happen. And everybody should just start ducking for cover. So Rumpelstiltskin gets Belle to leave with him and, like, let me take you back to Mother and I'll make sure that you're all safe and this and that. So she's all like, okay. So that was the sign for Killian to, start sucking up everybody. So that's what he does. He starts sucking up all the fairies into that hat. And Mother Superior is just like...
Mother Superior is like, WTF?
Watching all her little fairy friends get sucked up by only God knows what. And she's crawling on the floor and she's like, oh my goodness, what do I do? But you are the fairy of good light. You are the Mother Superior. You are the head. I don't know why she's crawling on the floor with this look like, what should I do? It's because she hasn't been on the show in so long she done forgot. That's what it is. So right as she turns the corner, there goes Hook and he's like, I'm so sorry. And he sucks up into the hat like somebody's sucking up spaghetti. Yup. Back to Regina. Regina puts Henry in the living room, puts a spell on him, and apologizes for kind of abandoning Operation Mongoose. And he's like, it's not over. Like, we're going to do it. So she's like, I love you and don't be scared. And she tells him, he's all like, I'm not scared. And she's like, oh, I wish I was as brave as you. And so she puts the spell on him and leaves. But then there goes Robin. And Robin is all like, I came to protect you. And she's all like, what are you doing here? You don't understand. People really, really, really are going to want to kill me. Like, you don't get it. He's like, don't worry. I won't let that happen. Marion's tucked away and so is Roland. P.S. Why is Marion tucked away? She's gone. She's dead. It's like Final Destination. You cannot escape your destiny. She is dead. Let it go. Anyway, so Jane's like, just go take care of yourself. And he's like, I will go take myself to a tree as soon as I find out that you're okay. She's like, I'll be fine. I'm going down to my dungeon and, like, protecting myself in there. Which, question, since Regina's, like, kind of good now, and she did use white light to break the curse the second time when her sister cast it, does that mean that it's white light magic that's protecting her, and the magic that she would be using now, if she is affected by that curse, would be dark magic, so therefore she can't leave? Because I'm sitting there like, she got magic either way. Can't she just turn down her own magic? Like, I don't know. And why is Rumpelstiltskin immune, but not Regina? I just asked myself some more questions. I'm too tired to try and figure this out. Anyway, let's finish this review up because it is long. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm gonna have to try and figure out how to make these reviews shorter. Anyway, so the scene now cuts back to they're on the beach and we're with Emma and Elsa, and all of a sudden the water starts doing this like it's got gas or something. The trunk pops up, and who's in the trunk? Ding ding ding, Anna and Kristoff. They're alive, all is well, and it's just like, holy crap, what? And then everyone realized that the necklace was the wishing star. Did anybody else catch on to that? Because I really didn't. I'm telling y'all, I was not into this episode at all. I should have caught on to that, but I didn't. My mind was just not in it with this episode. Like, it just really wasn't. Anyway, so now the scene cuts back to the jail cell, and freaking Snow and Charming are there, and Emma's trying to explain what she can to Anna and Kristoff, and but it's too late. Like, it's just too late. The curse is like already there. So Charming and Snow lock themselves. We'll have Emma theoretically lock them into the cell. And she's all like, no, like, you can't do this, and that. And they're like, don't worry, Emma, like, you're gonna find us, and you're gonna protect us, and it's not gonna take long, you're just gonna do this, and that. And so she's like, but what about the baby? And they're like, they're gonna be with the safest person we know. And they give it to her, and I'm like, poor Snow, she can never win. Like, she just can't win. I don't think Snow is destined to be a mom. Point blank period. And Charming is always offering words of encouragement to Emma. You guys, I'm so sleepy. I feel delusional while I'm doing the end of this review. Anyway, so they lock themselves in the cage. As she's holding Neil, in walks Hook, and she's like, Hook, what are you doing? Well, Killian, what are you doing here? And Hook is all like, I need to talk to you. And he's just pretty much like, I just want to say goodbye and that I love you and I'm going to go lock myself down at the dock. But Emma could tell like something was wrong, and Emma's all crying. It's just a hot mess, you guys. And so then they take Kristoff and like lock him like to the table. And side note, I totally forgot that David and Kristoff were friends. But yeah. So they had like a little mini reunion before all that happened. So then all of a sudden, it's time. It is time. The smoke comes in, the glass starts falling, and I'm like, it looks so majestic, yet that must be so painful. Like, you've got glass falling into your eyeball. That's gotta be painful, right? And David and Snow are holding hands, and Snow's like, don't let go. And David's like, we are of one heart. Like, no spell is strong enough to break what we have. And it's just crazy. Like, it's just crazy. And then it ends with, like, they're holding hands and Snow's like, don't let go. But then the glass covers them. And it, like, covers their eyes or whatever. And then I'm all like,
That's it. Oh, dang. Next week's gonna be good.
thank you guys so much for watching these videos. I'm so glad that you're enjoying them. I have a lot of fun making them. It's very time consuming making these videos, and I'm so sorry that they are so long. I try to put in as much detail as I can and give you my, reaction to almost every detail that I give you. And I'm really sorry that they're long, but you guys seem to really enjoy them, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that you guys appreciate my videos. So I want to say thank you guys to that, and stay tuned. Can't wait to see what's going to happen next week and to share it with you guys. Adios, contaminados.